What's up, everybody, and welcome to what will be the second to last episode of the offseason. Hockey is back. I'm ready to say it. This is Morning Cup of Hockey, presented by Bet365. Whatever your bet is, it's never ordinary at Bet365. That's Colby Cohen. I'm Jonny Lazarus, and we got Joey Daccord, the former Arizona State Sun Devil and current Seattle Kraken goaltender, coming on in about 30 minutes. Very excited to chat with him. He looked like he had an MVP summer as far as NHL players go. I mean, I think the guy was traveling. He started his own YouTube page. He's posting content. He's doing TNT. Joey Daccord's been everywhere. He won gold at the World Championships. He was at the USA Olympic camp. He's been everywhere. So we don't talk about the Kraken a lot on here, and I feel like getting to hear from him, a very outgoing guy, a very down-to-earth guy, from what it sounds like, will be really cool to hear his story, his perspective on things. But Colby, how you doing? We're there. Hockey's back. How you feeling?
Well, I think we start with your tweet from today.
We can start.
Sort of there, where I think we should probably start, because that's the thing to do, right? Like, that's
you want me to just talk about it? I could.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Does Vic have the tweet, or is this something maybe you just want to go into?
I can just go into it. So Colby and I, obviously, as everyone knows, have been in our contract negotiations for the show and just for other things around Daily Faceoff. I agreed to my contract while you're still negotiating yours. Can I say that? Or I don't know. How can I word that? That's fine. Okay. I signed a 3-year extension for the show and to be a digital reporter. So for people who've been following me for my Ranger stuff, I've been at every Rangers morning skate, away team morning skate at MSG throughout the year. Sometimes it's tough to get there with the show and I can't make it in time. So that will still be a bit of an issue, getting to skates on time and whatnot, because the show does come first, but I will be a digital reporter. So I'll be at every Ranger home game talking to players that come through MSG. And rather than making one written article, I will be having a stick mic with me and my phone as a camera, talking to the guys one-on-one or in a scrum, and I'll be posting all my stuff as separate clips, so not as an article. So for me, it's like quadruple the content, right? Because if I have a conversation with a guy for 5 minutes, I ask him 5 different questions. Right there, it's 5 different clips instead of one article. So I'm really excited to take this like old school approach to media and make it into like the new school, version that I have seen for myself. Obviously, we're always looking to innovate and grow with the way media has grown in all sports, not just hockey. And to me, this feels like a really cool opportunity to kind of showcase the conversations I'm having rather than just write about them, because I'm not really a writer at heart. So I'm pumped. I don't know. Did I say it's 3 years?
You said that, yeah.
3 years. Yeah. So I'm pumped to be with Daily Faceoff for quite some time. It's my first ever multi-year contract since quitting my 9-to-5 job and doing this full time. So I am very pumped about it. It took a lot of hard work to get here, but it's very awesome that the people at Daily Faceoff, the Nation Network, have believed in me. So I'm really pumped. I'm trying to be as humble as possible, but I definitely am smiling very wide on the inside. So I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for everyone who's listened to our show over the last 2 years. If it weren't for you, Colby and Vic, and obviously Amel and Jay and everyone at Nation Network who has believed in us since day one, because we kind of came to them, with this unproven concept of doing a live morning show.
I think you got to give Frank. You throw Frank.
Yeah, Frank too. Yes.
Yeah.
Frank is the one who really piloted everything. Because I ran to you, Colby, with the idea, and then I think you pitched it to Frank right away, and Frank really got this off the ground running. So thank you for saying that, because I would actually hate myself if I didn't thank Frank.
You would.
But yeah, so it's been obviously a crazy 2 years. I was working a sales job at the Tennis Channel before we did this show, so it's pretty awesome that this has kind of come to fruition. But Colby, big thanks to you and Vic. Obviously, I'm with you guys every day, and you have to deal with me every day. And our chat, obviously, I could thank every single person, but I won't ramble too much. But I'm very excited, and I can't wait for you to be done, and we could get this thing rolling live, because everyone's tweeting at me when's Morning Cup of Hockey starting up again. Like, people want us in the mornings now that training camp's about to get underway. I mean, the hockey season is up and running. But I'll shut up. You talk.
Well, that's probably the longest you've ever talked without me interrupting you.
Yeah.
And I still interrupted you once.
And I wish you did more, because I hate talking about myself.
I knew you wouldn't want to leave Frank out of that for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
I think we've always, given him a lot of love, and we obviously wish him the best as, he moves forward in his career, and has gone on a different path for him. And it's really funny. I mean, first off, I think it's a big congratulations for you. And I will say, like, it's a very well-deserved milestone for you. It is a well-deserved milestone. We would not have this show without you. There's no doubt about that. Obviously, it takes a number of people in order to put a show like this together. I mean, and you've named everyone that 100%, needs to be named. But the reality is, it's like, I just think back to all those years ago when you hit me on LinkedIn. LinkedIn, something I never look at, by the way, and I saw it, and it's just funny when you go back and think about it. I mean, that's what, 5 years ago now, something like that.
2019, probably 2019, 2020, January 2020, I think. So
maybe 6 years, something in that range. So as when our relation, we first started chatting a little bit and talking about things, and I know you always like to give me shit about the fact that I told you my honest. Well, it was just, you asked me my honest thought on
you saved my life.
Breaking into the media versus going and playing in the Southern Pro League or something along those lines, or the East Coast League, if you were able to find your way into that league. And my point to you was, like, you had a great run as a player. And what I've noticed for guys, you played Division I hockey. You can't, like,
keep going,
we like to make funny, but, like,
keep saying nice things.
The game ends for everybody, right? Like, for everybody, the game ends. And I just think that for a lot of guys, like, I understand it. Like, this is your childhood dream. And for very few guys who kind of have to do it, let's call it the hard way, very few of those guys really make it. And I understand why guys want to chase their dreams, but I also think there's just this whole other world out there. And by delaying really growing up and becoming an adult, and I guess I can't really say what we do has grown up or become adults. Like, obviously I have my personal life where I have children and a family and have to do all this, like, actual real adulting. But I'm 36 going on 37. I've never had a real job. Like, I've never had a job where I have to go into an office and answer to somebody. And so I guess my point to you was that, why waste time? Like, if you're passionate about something, go into it. Where a lot of guys just don't know what to do, so they go collect a couple $100 a week to play in leagues that a lot of people have never heard of. Obviously the Coast and the AHL, and there's guys who play in the Coast who also play in the NHL. Like, it does happen. Joey Daccord played some games in the Coast, right? He played in the National Hockey League.
I don't know if he did.
Yeah, he did. I looked. He did. He didn't play a lot of games in the Coast, but listen, talk about the ultimate warrior, a guy who spent years and years and years trying to be an NHLer, and he finally did. I mean, he's such a rare exception to how this works, right? You're a prospect, then you become a suspect, and then you become a depth player, and, like, it's a vicious cycle. So that's why I you make it sound like I told you just quit hockey and go fuck yourself. I mean,
you've been my voice of reason since I spoke to you on the phone, probably in 2020. Like, any opportunity I've gotten in hockey, I've pretty much gone to you for advice. Without really ever meeting you in person until, like, a couple years ago, which is crazy.
We talked a lot, though, obviously. You kind of forget. I mean, it's this whole world that we live in now where we're all so connected via FaceTime and social media and all this other stuff. So, but listen, man, it's, people, I don't think people truly understand our relationship. And that's okay.
We could do a whole episode, like a live episode, maybe when we have a down day on just our story or whatever. But
they don't need to understand our relationship as long as they want to come to the show. And we love people's opinions, the good, the bad. But good for you, man. Like, I'm really happy for you, and to have a couple of years and to have a little security. That's all anybody could ever ask for in this life, is a little job security. Especially, we are in an industry that is very fleeting. I mean, you see the way things are coming and going, and TV networks are going out, and teams are launching their own streaming services. And YouTube is this thing that, I don't fully even understand, but like you guys all do fully understand it. And, you know, and so it's awesome. And, you know, I'm glad you put the tweet out today. I'm really happy for you that it's gone this way. And, you know, let's see where this thing can go. You were the believer in this. I never understood the chat concept. I didn't understand the YouTube concept. I kind of thought, why the hell would anybody care what Jonny and I have to say? But
all of us have to say, it's everybody.
I get it, but you like, I came into this whole thing like, let's just see what happens. You came into this thing uber confident that it would work. And, you know, I think Frank was confident that something could work. Amo was confident something could work. You know, Jay, our CEO at the company, like all these people. But I just kind of didn't understand it. I didn't come from this world, right? Like I came from traditional television, you know, and I was never a big sports podcast person. I honestly, I listen to Joe Rogan, and I'll listen to a little bit of Bill Maher's podcast, and you know, there's a couple other that I like, but none of them are geared towards sports. You know, obviously I know Spit and Chicklets. I know those guys. Those guys have, you know, done unbelievable things. But so you know, you've certainly earned your keep, and again, it's well deserved for you. So I know we just spent 15 minutes talking about that, but that's okay. It's our show. We can talk about whatever we want. And now we do have some things to talk about before Joey Daccord comes on. I think for the first time in a while, there's been some news around the hockey world, whether it's Kaprizov, JT Miller. But we got to start with the JT Miller thing today.
That's where you want to start? Yeah.
That's where I want to start, because you're a Rangers guy and your followers are all Rangers people. And listen, the New York Rangers named a new captain today, and that's news. Okay. And here's what I laughed about. It just was a good reminder, Jonny, that what we think doesn't mean shit. Like, it was a good reminder, because the entire world outside of the front office of the New York Rangers wanted Vinny Trocheck and thought Vinny Trocheck should be the guy. Okay. The entire world.
I was in agreement. Yeah.
Maybe even some of their team thinks that. But the two guys that made that decision, and Chris Drury and Mike Sullivan, they thought JT Miller was the right guy. And it's just a good reminder that, like, we all think we know everything and anything. But at the end of the day, when one guy makes a decision, when a GM wants to make a trade or a signing or whatever, we don't know shit, because only one or two brains know it. Right. And like Chris Drury and Mike Sullivan are small circle type of guys. They are not big circle type of guys. Some of Chris Drury's old teammates that he played with all throughout his career laugh, and they say he doesn't tell us shit. So that was the news of the day, I thought. And I'll be honest with you, maybe they just didn't think Trocheck was the right personality to deal with the media and deal with that spotlight. And maybe they felt like,
I disagree. I mean, Vinny deals with the media all the time. Like Vinny is the guy. And granted, like, you know, before JT got there, obviously Vinny was the one who stepped up when Trouba got traded. But Vinny could have easily been the captain. Like, I mean, from what I've seen, I'm not in the locker room. I'm not on the team. I'm only in there for the post game.
I'm not. Listen, I said the same thing. I thought Vinny Trocheck should be the next captain of the New York Rangers.
Yeah.
I'm not in the locker room, and I don't have to sit. My point being, the two people that mattered most didn't think that. Yeah. So what is the reason for that? Maybe it has nothing to do with Vinny and everything to do with JT, or maybe they felt like we're going to give Vinny an A, and then eventually he becomes the captaincy one. There was something there, because everybody thought it was a slam dunk, like a no-brainer. And when everybody in the world thinks it's a no-brainer and it doesn't, it goes a different way, there's always got to be a reason for that. Listen, huge Vinny Trocheck fan, a guy who I consider to be a friend of mine, a guy that I keep in touch with, by the way, right? Don't know JT Miller well at all. Met him a couple times, don't know him well at all. So it's like, but you have to ask the question as to why the Rangers didn't think the way the rest of us thought. That is my point.
Well, I would say that I think when we talked about it with Bonino, right? I mean, like he said it was Vinny for sure because he was in that room with them, but JT wasn't there. But I think for the most part, it was, the names that were brought up were Vinny, JT, and Fox.
Remember, Nick would have played with JT Miller, I think, potentially in Vancouver.
In Vancouver?
Potentially. Okay. I don't know if they crossed over. Potentially, I'd have to look.
But when we asked, but the question, he said Vinny.
I remember that. That's what I'm saying.
But I do think like there is a lot of Ranger fans who were saying JT Miller. Like, it's not like it's not like this is a bad decision. I think people are actually very pumped about it.
Yeah, like I don't think it's a bad decision at all. JT Miller, I think, is an old school nails type of leader, and I think you need that. And when you have a coach like Mike Sullivan, like I think you need a captain that's more in line with that.
And I don't know if you saw my tweet today, Colby, but JT's first home game after he got traded. Also, let me remind you that JT was here for the years they went to the Cup final. Like he was here for the good, like Lundqvist era. Like that's when he was drafted here. Remember Keith Yandel told us a story about Kevin Hayes and him stealing his car in his exit meeting and leaving it on the West Side Highway or something. Like, JT understands what it's like to win. I mean, they didn't win the Cup, but like to be here when it's successful. But also one clip I wanted to point out, I tweeted it today. Will Cooley, when he threw that massive hit on Alex Pietrangelo and then fought Nicholas Hague, like that hit, that was a monster, like probably the hit of the year. And I don't even think I'm saying that biasly. It was nuts. JT Miller, after Cooley went to the box, was the first player off the bench, skated across the ice just to give Will Cooley a tap on the shins. Like no one else really did that. And that stood out to me right away. Like JT, like is just showing that he respects the fuck out of what Will Cooley just did when no one else on the ice did that. It's just like a little thing like that stands out. Like, if you get, I've been in 2 fights in my life, but when your teammates are the ones patting you in the back, like it feels good. And JT was the only one that, really went over to Cooley. Him and Rempe, I think, were the only 2. So that was a little thing right from the beginning that I saw it stood out. And I think the JT will end up being a great captain. Obviously, things didn't end well for him in Vancouver. We weren't in that room either, but the Rangers brought him in to rebrand themselves, and it's appropriate to make the guy that you want to build your culture around the captain. He's gonna be the first line center. So I'm all for it. And that's all I really got to say about it. I don't want to spend too much time on it because we do got to talk about. Do you have one more final thought? Because I do want to get to Kaprizov.
Go ahead. Move along.
All right. So before we talk about Kirill Kaprizov, I do want to give a quick shout out to our sponsor, Parasso, the most complete choice for shaving and beard care, made in Italy since 1948. Parasso has been a staple of Italian culture and barbershops globally for 4 generations. So get 50% off at parasso-usa.com with our promo code hockey15 in all caps, hockey15. So as it was reported, I believe earlier today, actually, Frank had a clip on Bleacher Report, BR Open Ice's account, saying after Kirill Kaprizov reportedly rejected an 8-year, $128 million extension with the Wild, contract discussions are at a standstill. Colby, there's no way Kirill Kaprizov finishes this year on the Minnesota Wild, right?
Well, I think the whole thing is kind of interesting because you had Frank report it, Elliott came in and also reported it. And then you had Bill Guerin come out and just flat out deny it.
But Russo reported it too, right?
Okay, I didn't see Russo's report.
Yeah.
But then you had the GM come out and just flatly deny it, which makes me wonder, like, is this a negotiating tactic? Is this a paint him as a greedy guy? Like, I was just like, I'm sort of curious here because, like, here's what I know, like, between if Frank, Russo, and Elliott are tweeting or reporting something, I am betting you my social security number that it's right. I mean, like, there's no way the 3 of those guys are wrong. But so then it's interesting. So that means Bill Guerin comes out and flatly denies it, which, like, I guess you have to do, right? So, like, where's the truth in this whole story? And the question becomes, like, if he's turning down that type of money, like, who's giving him that type of money anywhere else?
There are plenty of teams that if they have it, they'll give him that money.
I know, but like, okay, I keep seeing the New York Rangers. Like, do the New York Rangers?
They don't have that money.
Do they have that type of money?
No, but I know the question you're going to ask is, would you move on from Lafreniere and a couple people to get Kaprizov? And I say yes.
Well, yeah, I mean, of course.
Yeah,
like, that's a no-brainer. I mean, like, but like, you'd have to move on. Remember, you want to trade for him.
Yeah.
Think about who you get. See, bye-bye to Will Cooley, bye-bye to Lafreniere. I mean, even those 2 guys don't move the needle for Kirill Kaprizov, but I mean, that is a big ass contract. And I'm just curious, like, what good team has that? What good team has that type of money without trading away 2 star players? Like, I don't know. Like, I'm looking at cap wages as we're talking about this and like what teams have for this year. Obviously, like the only teams that are, I mean, what does he make this year? Do you, Vic, maybe you could look that up, Kaprizov, how much
Well,
he makes.
we talked about Chicago last year, right? Like, wasn't that
So he makes
the
$9
big
million
rumor last year?
this year, right? So the only teams that currently have $9 million are the Red Wings, the Hurricanes, Nashville, Calgary, Columbus, Pitt, Chicago, San Jose, Anaheim. Right now, obviously that
How do you
changes
see that? Where are you?
as the season moves along and teams accrue space and whatever. So maybe there's a deadline deal for him, but this doesn't strike me as a deadline type of deal. Like, and what do you do if you're Minnesota? It's like, are you going to trade your best? Like, let's say you're in a playoff race to make the playoffs.
I think this is a fix it now.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you have to make the decision and do it right now. If you don't think you can sign this guy, like you have to start working on this trade right now. Like right now, because this is not a deadline type of deal. Like you're not going to maximize your return at the deadline because it's only going to be a small window of teams that can actually afford to do the deal, right? So, I mean, I'm kind of waiting to see what type of fireworks we have here over the next couple of weeks. I mean, I don't think it's going to get done today or tomorrow, but you got to think sometime in the first, 2 months of the season. And here's the other thing. What if he gets hurt? That's why, like, you got to get it done now.
Yeah.
But you know, contracts usually don't get done until there's a deadline. That's just how sports is. You can't get a deal done for 12 months and then 1 minute before like midnight strikes on the last day they get these deals done, right? So I don't know, like you know, and he has a full no move clause, right? So completely in control of his own destiny here. Like, fuck, Bill Guerin's in a tough spot. Like I love Bill Guerin and obviously we've had Chris Kelleher on this show. I know you have
Derek
a love
on now.
You have a love-hate relationship with those guys, Johnny, but they're in a tough spot in Minnesota with this Kaprizov situation. Like, I mean, but it is funny to me. People are like, oh, he's going to go to the Rangers. And then I read something along the lines of all three Hughes brothers are going to unite and it's going to be with the Rain. It's like,
that was biz.
Where do people come up with this shit?
Yeah. But
where did they come up with it?
Well, while you say Minnesota's in a tough spot, like I actually think, you know, listen, while he is one of the best players in the NHL, obviously, you know, this guy has put up, 3 straight 40-plus goal seasons. Like if he's healthy, he's the MVP, I think, last year because the start he had to the season was dominant. I think after McDavid, I said this on Twitter too. I don't know if you would agree. I don't even know if it's a hot take, but after McDavid, I don't know if there's a player who makes everyone around him that much better. Like after McDavid, like I think it's McDavid, Kaprizov, like who do more with less. If that makes sense. You get what I'm saying? Like he's not surrounded by such top end talent. Like he gets a lot. I mean, Matt Boldy is great. He's a guy who's proving himself, but him, like Zuccarello, is probably the next best forward. Like they don't have like,
I don't know. I think Boldy's kind of a star. Like
in the making.
He's an all-star.
But Ryan Hartman had 34 goals playing with Kaprizov.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay, that's fair. Yeah.
He brings a lot out of these guys.
And he's 28 years old too. Like you're not giving an 8-year deal to a 25-year-old. Like, I guess my curiosity.
Wait, can I make my point though?
Go ahead.
My point? I think it's almost. I don't want to say it's going to be better for the Wild to move on from him, but they'll get a lot back for him, and it'll probably make them a more complete team. Like, you know, look at what they were when Kirill Kaprizov was healthy versus when he was out of the lineup. Like they were a completely different team without one player. You know, if they can go get 2 players, maybe some prospects, like they could turn it into a positive. Where
you can't get right now. You can't get prospects for. I mean, you might get them at the bottom of the deal, but dude, Minnesota's a team that like they want to be in the playoffs every year.
Yeah,
this isn't a hockey market that's just okay with not being good, right? They just got off all that dead cap money that they've been saddled with for years. Like Bill Guerin has never had a chance to really go shopping at high-end stores. He's always been bargain hunting because he's had his hands tied because of the dead cap money when they made the decision to move on from Suter and Parise, which he had to do, right? I'm not questioning that move whatsoever, but geez, man, Kirill Kaprizov's like a top player in the National Hockey League. Listen, it'd be great for hockey to see a guy like that move and have a huge blockbuster and have all these players go back. But like, if you're Minnesota and you're trading Kaprizov, like, I mean, you need you need, like, if Kaprizov's an A+ star in the NHL, like, I think we can agree, like, he's an A+ superstar. You need at least 2 A- stars back, and you need like 1 B+ top 6 forward back, or defenseman, top 4 defenseman, and then probably some. I mean, it's you like it has to be like one of these like franchise. I always see this in the CHL actually, and I always kind of laugh when like a big name player in the OHL gets traded. It'll be for like 7 first-round picks, and like 4 like you see these like crazy hauls. I feel like it's the only league that does stuff like that. It's kind of got to look like that. Like, I think it, like, even in NFL terms, like, what's his name? Micah Parsons just got traded for like a pretty big haul. And I remember when that deal was. I remember when the guy got traded, when it was I think he got traded from was it the Bears to the Raiders? Khalil Mack, did he go from the Raiders to the Bears? The Bears I can't remember, but it was like a crazy return. Like, you just don't see superstar players in the meat of their career. How about Tkachuk, right?
Dude, like, what about this year? Vic just put it in the Rantanen trade.
Yeah, I think he's at a different level than Rantanen.
Kaprizov, he is. I think he's, but Rantanen's still an elite star.
Yeah, he's an elite star. I agree, but like, I think
an A+++.
Yeah, I think Kaprizov's in that top tier, right? Yeah, like, I think Rantanen's in the next tier, but I think like, I agree. There's still something to be said for that too, right? Like, that extra tier. Like, these guys just don't come around. Like, I'm not saying Mikko Rantanen's a guy you can just grow on trees. I'm not saying that.
No, but you could put Kaprizov and like Kucherov in the same category and not Rantanen in that category.
That's what I'm saying. Like, those guys are just different. Like, you build a whole franchise around that player. You're not building your whole franchise around Mikko Rantanen. He's one of your franchise stars, but he isn't your first building piece. And I agree. That's what Kaprizov is. And so, man, the return for him, I would just think it's going to be like astronomically high. And I do think like they need to start working through that deal. But at the end of the day, like, full no move clause. Like, so he gets to say, I will only go to these 3 teams. That hurts Bill Guerin even more, Johnny. Like, this is a tough situation. I mean, I've praised Bill Guerin's work. Like, I think he's done a lot of really good things. I think he's gotten good contracts done. Like, I think the Boldy contract is going to turn out to be like a total bargain, right? Like, I love, Eriksson Ek plays at a very reasonable number. I think Rossi's deal at $5 million, that's a reasonable number. Like, I look at some of these deals, right? Even Faber, like $8.5 million, that's a great number for him.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that he's done Bill Guerin has done, like, he's done a great job, right? In a tough spot. So, but this is going to be a move that sort of like defines his legacy as the general manager of the Minnesota Wild, right? And I'm rooting for him to do something great and get something great, because if you've ever spent 5 seconds with Bill Guerin, he's a fucking great guy. I mean, he's the guy's guy that you want to have beers with and you want to hang out with and you want to hear stories from. Like, he is a beauty, as we love to use the term in hockey.
Let's table this and we'll get back to it after we talk to Joey Daccord, because Joey is here and I don't want to keep him waiting. But we'll have some other topics to do or to hit on, after we talk to Joey. But I do want to give a quick word from our sponsor, Out West, before we bring on Joey Daccord. From early morning skates to late night league games, Out West polos are built to keep up with lightweight, breathable, and made to move fabric. They're clean, sharp, and built for guys who don't want to wear the same thing as everyone else. So head to outwest.us and use code Cuppa, CUPPA, for 15% off of your order. And with that, a guy I've been talking to for the past couple weeks, very pumped to have him on. Joey Daccord, welcome to the show, dude. Sickest background, by the way, in the NHL. Like, it's unreal. I saw you on TNT with Adam Lefko with why am I blanking on what it's called? CN Towers, Toronto. What the fuck is that thing called?
Oh, Space Needle.
Space Needle, yes.
Yeah, Seattle Space Needle. It's like,
what an apartment you got there, huh?
There. Yeah, good spot here. Good spot. We got a nice crib.
But you're everywhere. I just said, like, you were doing Pac-12, Arizona State football on TNT. You're doing your own YouTube channel. You're traveling the world. Like, you were probably the MVP of the summer in the NHL, no?
I mean, I'll take that. I I always say to people, like, I'm an open book. Like I think, people want to see, first off, like what NHL and pro athletes are up to. And for me, like, I like doing this stuff. So I'm like, yeah, let's do it. Like it's, I had someone suggest to me, like, hey, you should look at what some of the other guys are doing with like YouTube channels. Like if you look at like Yannick Sinner, tennis player, or even like Kyler Murray, like his YouTube videos are sick and they get tons of views. And I mean, people just want to see that stuff. Even like I just posted this week, I posted an on ice video of just like a training session with my dad. Coolest thing ever about it is they just threw a mic and cameras on what I normally do. So nothing's like something that I have to go out of my way to produce or make or anything. I just hired a content team and they make all my videos for me.
47,000 views.
Yeah, like it's got a lot of views. I started with 0 subs and now I'm probably close to 6K in a month or two. And I've only posted 3 videos. So it's like, I mean, there's lots more coming, honestly. Stay tuned. Coming, but it's cool and people really want to see it. It's been incredible feedback.
Let me ask you, because you just mentioned your dad, obviously somebody that I've crossed paths with quite a few times here in the last couple of years. Does he come out to Seattle? Are you working with him back home in Boston? Or do you spend time in Boston in the off season, or like, where are you working with him? Because I think that's primarily where he's based out of, right?
Yeah. So he's in Boston. He's in the Boston area. His company, Stop at Goaltending's got like locations all over Mass and now up in Connecticut and Vermont as well. So I spend all my summers in Boston. I have an NHL level goalie coach as a dad. Like I'm skating with my dad.
Goalie whisperer. People really like. I mean, he blesses a guy, and I think a lot of people go, "Whoa, okay."
Does he charge you?
Dak thinks that this guy can play, and everybody kind of like he has that reputation in the hockey circles.
Yeah, he does. The guy's honestly a stud. I would not be here today without him. He's basically had me as a child and just molded me into an NHL level goalie with his bare hands, No, so yeah, the guy, I don't know. He just like eats, sleeps, breathes goalie. He loves goalie. And I think the coolest thing about my dad is he just loves like helping people. And that's his outlet to do that, right? Like he knows how to teach goalies how to do things. He can just see it. Like he just, in his brain, it's like a mathematician, just seeing a math problem and they can just do it. Like that's just how his brain works. And then he gets to like help people, like help kids, families, kids try to find teams, go through each step of their career and try to make it to the highest levels. And I mean, he's worked with little kids all the way up to NHL players. And it's amazing that I get to work with him. And so I train with him in the summers back home and I spend my summer in Boston.
I remember last year when Yegorov came into BU like halfway through the year and he practiced maybe like 3 days and your dad blessed him to start against BC. Because the coaches really leaned on him for that kind of stuff. Like you'd be silly not to. And I remember I was texting with Pando and Joe and I was like, is he going to start? Is he not going to play? And they're like, Dak says he's ready. And so like right away, I was like, this kid's ready then. Like I was like, people are like, you're crazy thinking he should start this game. It was like against BC, his first ever game. And then he goes out. I think he lets up 1 goal. They lose 2-1 with like an empty netter or whatever. And then he never gave the net back. But I just remember the warm and fuzzy feeling that I had, Joey, that I knew your dad had blessed that to really happen. And I was like, okay, like the guy is here. Like we're in good shape with this goaltender now.
That's awesome. Yeah. He's the goalie whisperer. I don't know, for whatever reason, he's just got that gene in him. It's like, I don't know, what do they call it in Shell when they have like the power boosts or whatever? I don't know what it's called. Yeah. I'm too old now. I used to know all the cool young kid stuff and now I don't know anymore, but yeah.
Well, Joey, it's funny because Colby is referring to your dad as Dak. And he gives me shit when I call guys by their nickname without like really meeting them and whatnot. But I know Colby has a relationship with your dad. But one of your teammates told me that your nickname is Boobies. So we're going to need you to explain that.
Boobs. Yeah. Montour. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Montour? That's funny.
Yeah. So it was like early on in the year last year and I was like on the bench at the end of the bench. I was next to the D and it was like a face-off and Drysdale was right in front of the bench, like is in the second period. So, or no, it would have been first period. But anyways, Drysdale was right on the bench for them, and he just kept yelling at him, boobies, boobies, boobies. And I looked at him, I was like, what are you saying, dude? Like, that's not funny. That's not like, you're not chirping him. He's like, I'm just letting him know I'm there. And I was like, all right, boobs. And then I called him boobs. And then now he calls me boobs. So now we call each other boobs. So it's just happened kind of organically.
That's awesome. Yeah, he's a yapper. We had him on here. We've had Pat Maroon talk about him. Brandon Montour is one of the funniest guys, I think, in the NHL, and definitely one of the most annoying to play against from what it sounds like.
Yeah, I love having him on my team. Great dude. Great dude. Unreal player. Great guy to have in your room and on your team, and just hilarious. The stuff that comes out of that guy's mouth is just out of control sometimes, but just hilarious.
I do want to rewind a bit, Colby, if I may. I want to talk about Arizona State, obviously. I don't even know, you probably don't even know who I am, but I played against you in college. I played for UMass when we played you guys a couple of times at ASU, but I didn't get much ice time. I didn't get much ice time, so you didn't see my last name a lot.
I got scratched both games against you guys, or I was third goalie both games against you guys, so
really,
don't worry about it.
No, okay, well, that kind of brings me to my point, because I was actually texting with Greg Powers today, and he said, you got to ask him about his first start. Like he said, we were down 9-2 after the second period, and I look at Joey.
No, it wasn't that bad.
He's like, "Do you want to stay in?"
I mean, it was, but it wasn't. You know, like it was that bad, but it wasn't. I did give up 9 goals, but it was in the whole game, so give me a little credit.
Who was it against?
So first game, it was ASU had played the year before. It was like the split season year, so they played like a handful of Division I games. They played club teams. They played D3. They played Canadian schools. So I went in, it was first full year D3. And I think they did like okay, given the expectations the year before, but it was mostly like a club team. And then that was the first year we still had some players from the club team, but we had most of the, full recruits were there. So I had like a really good preseason training camp, whatever. And I think he probably just expected me to just waltz in there. I was drafted and just like, save the day, you got a good goal, you're kind of good to go. And so he plays me the first game after like this other kid had basically played every game the year before and done pretty well on a team that didn't do so great, from a wins and loss standpoint. And so he plays me first game on the road at Notre Dame. I've never played college hockey before. And they had like Anders Bjork and like some other kids that were just disgusting in college. Their goalie, Cal Peterson. They were loaded.
Good team. I remember that team. I think they went all. I think they were a Frozen Four team that year.
They were.
I'm not mistaken.
They were disgusting. And I remember, so first shift, we throw a pizza up the middle. It's like a 3-on-1 kind of. They throw it backdoor to Bjork, and I come flying over. I'm like, I'm gonna make this monster stop. I come like super aggressive. He throws it backdoor again, empty net. I'm like in the corner. I was like, this is gonna be a long night. So we lost 9-3. After the second period, it was maybe 6-1 or 6-2. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they had 7 5-on-3 power plays. You guys may have to go fact check me.
I don't have the stats.
I think we took like over 20 minor penalties. Like it was we were on the kill the entire game. I think they scored 3 5-on-3 goals that night. And it was for sure 50 plus shots. You guys can, it's been a minute. It's been almost 10 years. So you guys can fact check me. But anyways, after the second period, he was waiting for me. Like I was the last guy, like no one went to the goalie, like after the second period, like you're getting shelled. So it's like, all right, leave him alone. And so I skate to the bench. I see him waiting there for me. I'm like, oh, thank God he's going to take me out. Like I'm getting absolutely blasted right now. He looks at me, he goes, you good to keep going? I was like, yep, I'm good. I was like, oh God. So then gave up 9 goals and it was off to the races, just battling the rest of the year, trying to keep my stats somewhat acceptable.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, the way he phrased it was like, I didn't want to pull the kid from his first game. Like I kind of gave him the option, and I was like, that's nice. That's a good way.
Yeah. I mean, if a coach asks you if you want to come out, you can't say no.
Yeah. No.
Or you can't say you do want to come out.
Although goalies are kind of a different breed. Like I feel like goalies can kind of voice more things than a player can and not be judged for it.
I think some goalies can say that, but like my mentality is like I'm just a fighter, so I'm just gonna keep fighting as like I actually saw a great video this morning. It was about Cristiano Ronaldo, and he was getting interviewed, and he was like, he was like talking about taking penalty kicks and how he's like, if you don't want to take it and you're not confident to take it, that's fine. Like, that's totally okay. He's like, he's like, I'm going to shoot. And if I miss, I'm going to shoot again. And if I miss, I'm going to shoot again. And that's just kind of my mentality. I'm like, if it doesn't go well, I'm going to get back up, try like, and just keep ripping it, you know?
Well, I mean, listen, when you look at your history, I think like, you know, that's fairly obvious, right? I mean, you're a guy who spent a lot of years in the minors, and you know what, 2 months ago you were at the Olympic orientation camp. I mean, you're being put in rarefied air now with not just the NHL, which is the best league in the world. Now we're going to dwindle that into a smaller part of the triangle or the pyramid, and we're going to invite just the best players from their countries, and you're there at that. I mean, you talk about your dad and you're talking about your mentality, and I could see your personality like already. And I'm just curious, like, do you ever have any moments where you were like, what the fuck am I doing? I mean, I was in the American League in my 4th year knowing it was over for me and being like, fuck, like, how did you mentally get through that? I mean, that is the jungle, man. That is the survival league. And you did it and you did it. And then you did it some more. And then all of a sudden, you're off to the races at a little bit of an older age, not old, but an older age. Like, how? Like, you are the exception to the rule. You are why guys don't quit playing, because everybody looks at you and says, well, he did it. Like, even though it's the smallest sliver of hope, but you did it and you're doing it. Like, mentally, how?
I have like 15 answers to like all of the things you just said. All right. I'm gonna start with one first. Like, just the statistics that you talk about. One, I am an older guy that made it to the NHL, especially for goalies. Like, goalies are a little older when they usually make it as full timers, but I was definitely, you know, on the high end of that. Now, just talking like statistics, like, one, I don't know for sure. I think my dad told me, but I think I'm the only goalie since 2015, which was my draft year, that's made it as a 7th rounder.
Wow.
So like, I think, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think any other goalies since whatever, I'm not exactly sure the stat.
Probably not a lot of players either, by the way.
Yeah, not a lot of players either. There's not a lot of 7th round players that make it to the NHL. So and then that was my 2nd draft year. My 1st year, I didn't get picked. So I always call myself a 14th rounder.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. So, and you know, I think for me, I felt like I was so close for like 3 years in the minors that I was like, I'm good enough. I'm there. Like, I just got to keep going. I got to get my chance. I thought I was going to get my chance. So my first full year pro, I played really well. I started in the coast actually. So I grinded the coast for a little bit, gave up 9 goals in a game in that league too. So,
that's your
it happens. Yeah. I got a shutout the night before. And then my coach was like, we had a 3-3. And my coach was like, oh, you played great. I'm going to go right back to you. I was like, great. Sounds good. 9 goals.
Did you go all 3? Did you go 3 in a row in that?
No. They pulled me for like the last 3 minutes. I got scored on from the far blue line with like 4 minutes left. And they scored to make it like 8-1 off of B-way out of the penalty box. And then they like win the drawback, dump it in from the red line, goes right through me, goal 9. I was like, dude, you got to get me out of here. Like, I'm sorry. Yeah. I don't ever like pull shoot often. And I didn't. I would have stayed if he didn't take me out. But I was like, dude, you got to get me out of here. But anyways, so I started in the coast. I played there I think I played 12 games in the coast. And I got called up. And I played on the second half of a back-to-back in Hershey on the road. And Hershey's a perennial powerhouse in the American League. And I beat them 2-1 with an empty net and played great. And I just like earned the trust of the coach in the American League. And he was like, dude, I want to keep you. Like, he's like, I like the way you play. I want to keep you. So he fought for me to stay. And then, because there was some injuries up at the NHL level.
Who was that coach?
That was Troy Mann.
Okay.
So they ended up sending me down because I think Craig Anderson was hurt and then came back. And then I drove back down to Brampton. I was playing in Brampton in the coast. And I grabbed Chipotle on the way home, sat down and opened up my phone, turned on the Sens game. And it was like a 1:00 start. And I watched him get hurt again. And I was like, well, I guess I'm going back up. Like, he got taken out of the game. So I got called back up, and then they were like, actually, we want you to stay, play the game tomorrow, and then you're going to come back up. And then I played that one last game, went up to the American League, and I just never went back. And I had a really good year. I ended up playing like close to 25 games in the American League, solidified myself at that level. And then based on the way my entry level worked, I had to sign a new contract, and then I got a 3-year deal out of it. I got really lucky because COVID was happening. I have a Swiss passport, so I had like Swiss teams trying to get me to play for them. And there was no guarantee the American League was even going to play. So I was like, I kind of had some leverage to be like, hey, I can go play in the Swiss League. I have a Swiss passport. So I kind of had some leverage on Ottawa. They gave me a 3-year deal with a one-way on the end off of 25 career AHL games. Like, I probably didn't deserve it, but I
good job, agent.
Well.
Yeah, agent.
Yeah, my agent's honestly a stud. He's gotten me great.
Who's that?
Jerry Buckley. Yeah, he's
awesome. Yeah, Buck's he's a good old. I figured you were with one of the Boston boys. That makes sense.
Yeah. He's taking great care of me, and But anyways, so we got a good deal, and then the next year, I came into camp. I was the third goalie. I was like the taxi squad goalie. A couple injuries happened. I got to play. I played well. I mean, we weren't very good, but I played well. And I remember that DJ Smith was the coach at the time. He's like, hey, like, I'm going to run with you. And I was like, all right, sounds good. I played 4 games in 6 nights. And then the 4th game in the 3rd period, I sprained my ankle and missed the rest of the year. And I was like, I felt like I was so close to being like, bang, I made it. So I missed the rest of the year. And then I got drafted in the expansion draft, and it was right to the minors. So I was like this close to feeling like I was going to make it. And then I got sent to the minors. Go to the minors. I set the single season save percentage record for Charlotte in the American League. Had an awesome year. The goalies in the NHL were Grubauer and Drieger for the next year. And Drieger ends up getting hurt at Worlds, tears his ACL. So I'm like, this is my chance. Like, I'm going to get a shot to be the backup goalie, finally in my 4th year pro. And they signed Martin Jones back to the minors again. And I'm just like, dude, God, like, I just need a break, And to be fair, like, I was getting NHL opportunities and I wasn't really taking advantage of them. Like, I got 5 games each year in Seattle, and I didn't play well enough. Like, if I came up and like slammed the door in those starts, I bet you they probably give me that opportunity to play the first half of the year before Drieger came back. You know what I mean? Yeah. Instead, now it's like, it's funny. You look at it like glass half full and like hindsight 2020. I thought I was like, okay, I'm just never going to get a chance. I'm never going to get that chance.
And when you were at that moment, because once you feel that way, it's hard to you could give a good effort every day, but then you have to give more than a good effort every day to make it at that league and to stay in that league. But how did you not sit there and go, fuck? Like, how did the wind not come out of your sails? Like,
he's a positive guy just from talking to him.
I get it, Johnny, but it's one thing to say it and it's another thing to live it. Like,
it never once crossed my mind that I was ever going to stop. Yeah. Like, until this moment that you brought it up, I was never never even thought about the fact that like, hey, I could have just been like, hey, you know what? It's not going to work out. And that's that. I don't know. Maybe
so you're just built different. Good for you.
Yeah, I'm just a dog. But like, So like, just to finish up my story from before, and not to cut you guys off, but
no, you're good.
Like,
you're the guest.
I like thought, I was getting pretty close to that territory where you're like, okay, you're going to be a career minor league guy. And I had this year in Coachella where we went on this absolutely fairy tale Cinderella run to the finals, Game 7, Calder Cup finals, and basically just bullied my way to getting an NHL roster spot. Like, after that year, like, Seattle basically had to be like, okay, we're giving you a chance to be an NHL backup here. And then things just started going my way. But to be fair, like, I played well every year. It just wasn't happening.
A lot of it's timing.
I just learned a lot about patience. And then, like, it just, at some point it just clicks. Like, even so, the next year I start the year and I think I had like an 892 save percentage through like my first 5, 6, 7, 8 starts. And I remember I called my dad. I was like, I'm playing fine. Like, I'm not playing bad. I'm playing fine. But then I was like, but I'm watching these games. Like Gruby was playing most of the games at that point. I'm watching other goalies and other teams make saves that I'm not coming up with. And I was like, I need to find a way to like come up with more saves. Like it's okay to be like, you're playing good, but like it's the NHL. You have to play better than good. You know, like you have to make big saves every game. I was like, I have to find a way to make big saves. Gruby ended up getting injured, and I played 23 of the next 25 games, I think, one of which being the Winter Classic.
I was gonna say it's right before the Winter Classic, right? It's
right before the Winter Classic, and then I think I went on like a 9-game heater or something.
Yeah,
and that little stretch of like 25 games basically solidified me as a full-time NHLer. I got hot. Like it was just, you know how like the media snowball happens. Like next thing you know,
well, the Winter Classic was you're coming out like everyone.
Exactly.
You were a household name after that day.
Yeah, like before that game, no one knew who I was, and then that game happened.
Hold on, let me just go back and ask you a question here, because we do have a lot of people that watch our show and listen to our show that are, and I say this with love, hockey nerds. They love the technical stuff. So let me ask you a question from a technical standpoint. You call your dad. You're like, Dad, I'm playing good. I need to come up with those saves that those guys are making. Was there some sort of technical change in your game? Was there some sort of work with your goalie coach from Seattle? Like what got you over the hump to get where you felt like you were in that place from the moment that you just mentioned to us?
I mean, we were for sure working on stuff. Like I'm even now, like I'm constantly honing technique, refining mechanics, etc. But at the end of the day, it was more of a mentality thing, I think, for me. Like it was just hey, I gotta quit being soft here and just find a way to make freaking big saves when the team needs a big save. Like at some point, it's like you can be good, you can have all the technique. Sometimes you got to find a way to make a big stop when the team needs it. And I think it was a mentality thing for me where I was like, I need to start coming up with more saves and I need to find a way how. And to be fair, like a lot of that comes with reps. I was still at that point only, let's see, I played like 19 games my first. So I was probably 25, 30 starts into my NHL career. Like when you get that runway to play a lot of games, and then now if I wouldn't have played well, I wouldn't have got that runway. They probably would have made a trade or called someone up or whatever. But I knew it. Everyone told me, I knew. I was like, hey, this is my chance. Like if I play well, I can solidify myself here and as an NHLer. And, you know, next thing you know, I ended up playing 50 games that year. And before the next season starts, I signed a 5-year deal. Like that, I knew as it was happening in real time, I knew like this was my chance to make a name for myself. If that doesn't go well, I'm probably in the minors again now. Like that's just the reality of it.
Well, let me ask you, because you talk about coming up with the big saves. How often do you watch the save on Eichel from the Winter Classic? Does that come up all the time?
How often do I
think that's the best save. That's got to be the best save of your career, no? This was sick.
I mean, if you talk about like the stage and the moment and the save, for sure. The coolest save I ever made was this past year. I made a behind the back full split save on a wraparound.
Oh, I remember that.
On Domi from Toronto. That like, for whatever reason, got no play. But like personally, I knew how sick it was. But like no one else thought it was cool apparently. But that save, that was like, that's probably like the save. If you like even, you know, hopefully I play for a while. If you look back, like that's going to be the save that is kind of my staple moment, I guess you could say.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. I mean, I want to talk about the Winter Classic too, because I'm sure how much that game meant to you. Like again, like on the world stage, like you get the Cocoa Cup after, and you're on the TNT panel, and everyone gets an introduction to your personality. But I'm laughing too because you're talking about like what saves go viral, what don't. I see you're active on Twitter now. So this season, like if you have a big game, you're gonna start like retweeting your own stuff. Like you may as well like have
I do that all the time.
Yeah, you should.
I'm
like
all about it.
When the media tweets out your quotes, you should like retweet it. Like, yeah, I said that. You know, like
that's literally what I do. I'm trying to build the brand here.
You should just tweet out your own quotes post game.
Yeah. Hey, ask myself questions. Hey, Joey, what happened on that second goal? Wasn't my fault. D-man, gotta have that guy.
That's so good, dude. No, your personality is honestly like we talked to so many guys in the league, and you could tell like you're just a guy who gets it. Like it's social media and that stuff is all for fun. Like while it is informal and whatnot, like you don't take it too seriously, and that's I think the direction we need to go in as a sport, right? Like guys who just have fun with social media.
I think like one of the issues with it is more culture based. Like people think that if you're active on social media, and maybe people in the hockey world think that if you're active on social media, you're making it about yourself. Like I'm not making it about myself. Like I'm not trying to be like, oh, everybody look at me. It's just part of it now. Like people want that access. Like people, from what I can tell, like my YouTube channel, like I got almost 200 comments on my last YouTube video being like, show us this. We want to see this. Can you show us your gear? Like, can you tell us what hollow you get your skates sharpened at? Like people want to know that stuff. And it's just like, if people want that, I like doing it. I enjoy social media. Like people like seeing stuff that I do away from the rink, at the rink, working out, whatever it may be. People like that stuff. Like I'm not doing it to be like, oh, hey, everyone look at me. I'm so sick. I'm the man.
Yeah. No, it's fun.
I post it because that's fun.
It's such a we culture, not a me culture in hockey. Sure. And people just get worried that when they do things like, how are the other guys going to feel? Is it going to get taken out of context? Is it going to be on a bulletin board? Like, but I will say,
you got to be smart with that stuff.
I think it's important to have, to have guys like you because you're going to inspire the next generation. Like I think about now, you guys are both what? You're born in 96.
96,
does that sound about right? And Jonny, when are you born? Are you born in what? 98? Something like that?
96 as well.
96. Okay. So is my younger brother. He's born in 96. So like, think about growing up, right? Like I'm watching Eric Lindros, I'm watching John LeClaire, I'm watching Ron Hextall, like these guys. Like, I wonder if those guys were doing stuff like you're doing, maybe I would have been more wanting and willing to do that kind of stuff when like, I remember I was like one of the first guys to get on Twitter, and this was like 2011. And the Bruins like PR staff. Now, granted, I was a healthy scratch every night, like going nowhere near a game, especially in the playoffs. Like this is like laughable thought, but they did not want me on social media. Like they were like, you got to get off like right away. And then the guys on the team, I remember like some of the older guys, like Shane Knighty, who's a great guy, and like Andrew Ferentz, like these guys were like, no, don't do that, right? And these are great human beings. Like my experience with these guys have all been nothing but good, but it's just because that's what they knew. And so they're like, that's what you do. So I think it's good. Like normally we do these interviews, Joey, and like we have to have all these topics prepared and questions prepared. Like I'm just able to ask you follow-up questions on things you're talking about because you're actually
he's a talker.
You have things to say. And so I think for you, it's important what you're doing. Like it's important work because there are going to be young kids who see what you're doing, who make the NHL one day. And they're like, okay, as long as I'm not a jerk off about it, this is actually okay. It's not a problem to have a personality. So I will commend you for stepping out on the ledge and putting your neck out there a little bit. Cause you are doing that in my opinion, at least.
You are.
And having that type of personality. So like I'll say kudos to you. I'll tip my cap to you, as Bruce Cassidy used to say. Tip your cap to him. You know. Yeah.
No, thank you. I think it's important. I mean, honestly, I still get chirped all the time in the room. Like
but
like calling Mr. Instagram. So
chirped is
like
it's
when you're getting brand deals though, they'll be jealous.
Yeah, I got a bunch of stuff going right now. Like I work with NHL Sense Arena, like the virtual reality company. I got a shoe deal with Brooks Running Shoes. Like shout out Brooks. I did.
We're gonna edit that out. Brooks doesn't pay us, so we're editing that out. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, fair enough. You know, I did stuff with like Alaska Airlines. Like, you know, that's part of it, but that's not why I do it. You know, like I do it because I grew up wanting to be where I am right now. Like I grew up watching Corey Schneider. I grew up watching Andrew Raycroft. Like these goalies that I just wanted to be like that.
I worked with Razor. He's the best.
Yeah, beauty. And like if I could have gone on YouTube 20 years ago and seen Corey Schneider's day in the life, I'd have been like, this is this. Now I got that personally because my dad was his goalie coach. But you know what I mean? Like imagine getting his day in the life at the NHL rink. I'd be like, this is the sickest thing ever. Like I genuinely enjoy that like I feel like I'm doing kids a service. Like they're getting to see stuff that
you are.
I even had kids or guys on my team this year be like, hey, I watched your stuff. Like I love that stuff.
Yeah.
Like I watched your YouTube video of your PT session. Like I love that. These guys are in the league with me.
Yeah.
One of my most favorite things growing up as a kid watching the Flyers, they used to have a segment in between periods called Coates's Corner. This guy, Steve Coates, who's a legendary figure within the Philadelphia Flyers market and long time broadcaster for the Flyers. But he would do like a behind the scenes video segment. And like, I still remember he did a segment where he was talking about Ron Hextall's pads. Like, I still remember this, Joey. And he's talking about how they would stuff them and how he would want stuffing removed and all the different sets. And like, I was just like, holy shit. And I wasn't a goalie, although my brothers made me play goalie in the basement, but I wasn't like an actual goalie. But I remember being like, holy shit. Like those segments like blew my mind. Now that's like the most baseline of what guys are willing to show and give. Like, it's just so much different. And you're right. Like if I could have seen what Eric Lindros was doing and where he was going to dinner or where that would have been the coolest thing ever, or John LeClaire, but it's a different time, right? It was a totally different time.
Well, and like, so for me personally, like my favorite show ever was like the original NHL 24/7s before the Winter Classic.
Yeah.
Like
so good.
I still remember like watching, and like there was this one intro scene. I forget now, but whereas like them on the bus coming over the bridge into Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And like there's me, like I remember being so jacked up watching this. I was like, this is the sickest thing ever. And then they cut to inside the Pens locker room, and Dan Bylsma's reading the starting lineup, and he's like, you know, Sid, Gino, whatever. And then he's like, and Flowers in the cage. And then
are you ready? You're going. Yeah.
Fast forward like 12 years.
He's saying it to you, right?
More. That was what, probably 07, 08?
Yeah.
No. That's
Winter
11 or 12.
I was a freshman in college in 2007, and that was the first Winter Classic.
Really?
Yeah, that's the first Winter Classic, right?
At Buffalo in the snow. You're 100% right.
Yeah,
I thought they did it for the
Washington.
It was the Washington-Pittsburgh one at like Heinz Field. It was like 2011, I think. It was later.
Well, no,
whatever.
Disco won the first. His first.
Yeah, he won in 09. Yeah,
he won in 09. So maybe it was that. I don't know. It was one of those years.
Somewhere in that years. Yeah, I was in school.
Yeah.
I remember watching it in the lounge, so that's why I remember I was in college.
Well, like 15 years later, I'm in the locker room. Dan Bylsma is my coach, and before every game, he's saying Joey's in the cage, and I'm like, I would get chills when he would say it to me because like I was a kid watching NHL 24/7, would do anything in the universe for that to be me in that, in that situation. And then 15 years later, the same coach is saying Joey's in the cage. Like you say Flowers in the cage, like Hall of Fame legend. And now he's saying Joey's in the cage. Like I get fired up thinking about it right now. Like, it's just like, and now I feel like I can kind of do that for these kids, like put stuff on YouTube. Like, and hockey's so far behind the other sports. Like you look at NBA, NFL, MLB, like these guys they're progressive with how they're doing stuff on socials. I mean, even like tennis, Formula One, like these guys are ahead of the curve on that. And like, I mean, I got to be the only guy in the NHL with a YouTube channel. Like,
no, Mario Ferraro. I don't know if he does it really anymore, but he's
really?
He's one of my good friends.
He's a UMass guy, right?
Yeah.
What was he posting on there?
His YouTube page was called Youngest of Plugs. He would do like daily vlogs. So he'd travel a lot, he'd hike, he'd play NHL. Like,
sick.
I don't know if he does it anymore, but he was doing it all through college, and we actually made fun of him all the time. But like, we were supportive,
We actually made fun of him. But no, it's cool that you do it. But like, we made fun of him.
No, like, dude, your friends wouldn't be your friend if they didn't give you shit.
They didn't make fun of you. Facts.
But like Mario. So Mario told a great story, Joey. You'll appreciate this. His rookie year, he's on the Sharks. Joe Thornton's like in the locker room. He walks into the room in Chicago, and they have his YouTube video up on the screen, like before video. And Jumbo's like, "What the fuck is this?" Like giving him shit. Like, but that's the good stuff. Like, and again, like while they make fun of you, like they're still your friends. They're gonna support you, but they're gonna give you shit because that's what friends do.
Just getting absolutely carved by Jumbo would be like worst case when you're a rookie.
Like I'm sure that guy says it with love,
Yeah, for sure.
But to wrap up the social media stuff, because I do want to ask you about like your team and I'll actually ask you to like create your own narrative if you can. But are you having like a camera crew follow you during the year? Is that something you're doing with this content team you've hired? Can you announce that? All right, cool.
I think I don't know. A lot of it's gonna kind of depend. We'll see. Like I have lots of stuff banked from the summer that's gonna be released. Like I did cool stuff. Like I have like a golf video coming. I have me and my buddies were out in Arizona. We like raced go-karts and like raced Dodge Hellcats, and we like recorded it, like just cool stuff. I have like workout videos. I have another on ice video coming. I got lots of cool stuff coming on the YouTube channel. A lot of it's going to be dependent on what kind of access I get basically this year and what's kind of allowed and what's not. The Kraken are like super supportive of everything. They just want to make sure they like everything's dialed in and everything's kind of approved by them first. So we'll see what kind of we're able to do this year, but I think we're going to have lots of cool stuff coming. But yeah, like this summer, I basically had a camera crew follow me around. I play tennis twice a week in the summer. So I had like a tennis session, me and my coach, so yeah, all different kinds of cool stuff happening.
You had a tennis coach? We love tennis, by the way. We're big tennis guys.
No, I grind tennis all summer. I'm a player.
Who's your favorite pro tennis player?
Dennis Seidenberg and I used to play quite a bit, and then he had shoulder surgery. Like that was kind of our summer.
So you cost him his shoulder, eh? He hurt his shoulder playing tennis too much?
I would say he probably hurt his shoulder running into guys full speed in the NHL for a lot of years. But it's just he wants to play pickleball, and I don't do the pickleball.
But tennis is
I grew up
tennis like it's a
I grew up playing. I was fortunate. My dad played professionally as a tennis player, so I kind of grew up around tennis and was fortunate to have a court even in at my house. So a lot of tennis for me growing up. Yeah, that was helpful. A lot of roller hockey.
Drops it in there. Yeah, we had a court in my backyard. No problem.
Well documented. I was definitely born on.
What is that, like a 1 bed, 1 bath?
Yeah,
tennis court in the back.
Tennis court. Yeah, exactly. I think they call that born on third base. I think that's the term for that. But, who's asking? Yeah, whatever. Listen, but it's a great sport. We talk about tennis. I saw Marty Fish was on Spittin' Chicklets the last couple of days, and like I'm definitely going to go back and listen to that because you get a tennis guy like him, and I know his story is intense, and I've gone back and forth with him just on X before, like DM back and forth with him, and so I'm looking forward to listening to that
Twitter, bro.
Chicklets episode.
We still call it Twitter.
Yeah, I don't know. It feels weird to call it Twitter.
You're like the last guy to be like progressive and call it X. Like I don't know why you do that. Like that's
it's called X.
It's Twitter. I still say retweet.
Same. Yeah, you have to. But Joey, let me ask you some hockey questions. I feel like we haven't even talked about the Kraken and whatnot, but this is my favorite question to ask goalies, and a lot of goalies are doing the way they answer it. But is there a guy in the league who has your number? Like you hate playing against him, he gets you every time.
How long we got?
Is there one? I mean, you could say nobody, but is there one guy who's
I mean, there's guys that have scored on me a lot. I think Draisaitl has half of his career points on me. I played
off angle shot.
Well, yeah, gosh, that's so hard to save. But I played my first year where I was the COVID year where I actually played some games. I think it was 8 games I played that year, but it was the COVID year. So we were just the Canadian division. We played Edmonton 3 times in a week. I think the combined score was 25-1. So I just got behind the 8 ball early there. I've played Edmonton a lot in my career. Now they're in our division here, so we see them a lot. Obviously, 2 of the best players in the league over there with McDavid and Draisaitl, and it's always a challenge to go up against those guys, but incredible players.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, it's always funny to hear who guys come up with. Sometimes it's even random. Draisaitl is obviously a pretty obvious one, but I feel like I heard Granlund. I forgot which goalie said it, but that was kind of a random one, right? Mikael Granlund. But no, so I also heard
nasty too, though.
Yeah, he is. He's sick, but I wouldn't think that's the guy, right?
Yeah.
But also tell us about the Kraken, because they're a team that we've had Montour obviously on a bit, but I was talking to Brendan Baxendahl, who obviously is your team services guy, who was my teammate at UMass too, and he said there's a lot of sneaky funny guys in the plane. He sits I guess in front of you and Cartier and I think Riker Evans, and he says you guys don't shut the fuck up the whole plane ride. Who are the funny guys?
Yeah, that's Riker and Carts. I call Riker the chop god, chopper, because he just loves to chop it up. I one time, because those guys are both rookies for the last couple of years, so they didn't have their own room, so they were roommates. One time we're on the road in LA, and we were staying at this boutique resort hotel on what's the beach there with
like Santa Monica?
Santa Monica. Yeah. We were right near there. And like, it was like this like small boutique hotel. And I heard these two giggling the entire night. I was like, God, I knocked on the door. I was like, guys, you got to pipe down. Like, I'm trying to sleep. We play tomorrow. Like, come, like, just yapping, giggling the whole night. I was like, but they're hilarious. They're so funny. We have a lot of like Jaden Schwartz, hilarious dude. Monty's funny.
I've been to some weddings with him. He's a funny and a fun guy. At least he was. And life changes obviously into your 30s.
Yeah, he's the best. Yeah, we have a lot of good guys in our room. And I think we're like going to be sneaky good this year too. So I'm excited for the year.
I had you guys to make the playoffs last year. You disappointed me, but that's a story for another day.
He picked you guys based on vibes. There was he didn't have a reason other than he said the vibes are high and they're going to make the playoffs.
I think they have good vibes in Seattle. I do. I still
true analyst work out of our pal Jonny.
Vibes are a true indicator. So I like that. Go with your gut.
Yeah. I agree. I'm going to stay with that again this year.
His gut rarely works out well for him. So
all right, so then don't pick us this year then.
Yeah, I won't. I'll stay away from you guys.
The Jonny jinx is a real thing. I mean, we pointed out daily on this show the Jonny jinx.
It's true. Okay. It's true. I got like two more for you though, Joey, if you have time. And again, thank you so much for taking the time tonight. But I got to ask you, did you get one of those Budweiser cans for not letting Obi score on you? Like how did that whole thing like come to be?
Well, so I played against the Caps like 2-3 weeks before he scored the goal.
Okay.
And I remember like I saw the game on the calendar and I was like, he might be like right around that time, like close to the goals. And like, you never know, he could pop off for 4 any given night.
Yeah.
100%.
If his one-timer gets hot, like he could pop off. And so I was like, they can't be anywhere. Like he can't be anywhere close. Otherwise I'm going to be absolutely sweating bullets. And I was like, cause you just don't, I mean, I guess it'd be cool to be you, but like, you'd prefer.
I said like, it'd be cool to be that goalie and him and Pat in the room were like, you're a fucking idiot. Like nobody wants to be that guy. And I was like, well, Sorokin's posing with him after and smiling. I think he's like,
I mean, once it happens, it's kind of like, all right, that's kind of cool. You know, like Sorokin's probably like, that's sick. I mean, it was a nasty goal. It was cool. But I was with Niter this summer, Spencer Knight, and he played him the game before. And I don't know if you guys remember, but
scored 2, right?
Yeah, he scored 2 that night, like great goals. And then they didn't put him out for the empty net because he said no. And then they scored the empty net, I think. And then Ovi went back out for the last shift and got like 4 shots off. And he had one that hit his knob. And like, it was through traffic. Like, there's no way like he could have seen it. It was like maybe right off the draw or something, whatever. He made a couple monster saves that like, if you're not a goalie guy, like you don't appreciate like how good of a save they were to like not have the record be against him. And it was for a Hattie and it was at home. Like it would have been like kind of storybook, but Niter was like, dude, I was like, game was over. I was laying it all on the line, like trying not to get that last goal. So.
Is he a buddy of yours?
I played with him a little bit in Charlotte. I mean, I don't know him like super well, but yeah, he's a great dude. And you know, we've crossed paths a lot. Super
good for him. I was really happy to see him, you know, pull everything back together and go to Chicago with a fresh start and play really well. And now he got a nice sizable contract. So
I love seeing tendies get paid. That fired
me up. I was pumped for him. I actually don't know him at all. We share an agent, but I don't know him at all. But just like happy to see that guy sort of circle it all back around because he was obviously like an incredibly promising young goaltender and he had to deal with some, you know, some personal stuff or whatever. And just seeing that sort of comeback like story, I always, you know, root for guys like that.
Yeah, he's so talented. Like his skill level's off the charts. Great dude too. So I was pumped to see him get paid. I love seeing all the tendies get paid lately. Like Dostal got paid, Wolf got paid.
Dostal's a great guy.
I was fired up. I was like, let's go, boys. Love seeing the tendies get paid.
Well, you're in your first year now of that new $5 million contract, right? Did you is the apartment the big spend? What's the big spend with the new money?
Nah, I bought a nice new whip.
You did?
Yeah.
Anthony Delgaizo told me you had a Wrangler when you were playing juniors.
Yeah, I actually I had that for a while, and then last year I was driving a Wrangler. I got another one. I love Wranglers, but I know I had a Wrangler at home like at my house back home that I just leave like the roof and the doors off for anytime it's nice out. But then my dream car since I was like 18 was I wanted a matte black Range Rover Sport.
Wow.
With red interior, like, and
Sick.
then like the black rims with like the red brake calipers. So
do you have that in Seattle or do you leave it in Boston?
No, I have that here.
No, you got extra security around that thing. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's got bulletproof. It's got bulletproof doors.
that thing will be on a ship heading the wrong way out into the waters before you know it.
Yeah, I don't even drive it. I just leave it in a security place so that no one takes it.
Like Cameron Fry's dad with the whatever car in Ferris Bueller.
Oh, goodness.
Put it in reverse. We'll get the miles back. I love that. But you are apparently the NHL's F1 correspondent. I'm going to an Aston Martin event next week, and I don't even know anything about F1. Like, so you gotta give me. You gotta DM me after.
Say really nice things about Lance Stroll.
Okay, you gotta give me some info after about F1. Well, I saw the movie of Brad Pitt, but I don't know anything else about it. Oh, well,
so
good.
Be really positive.
Yeah, I got you.
Good.
But I only got one more for you. Colby, do you have anything else you want to say? I mean, you've been so kind with your time, but last thing, like, again, if you can create a narrative for the Seattle Kraken this year, what would it be?
I think honestly, I think we're going to be good. I think we're going to be scrappy. We're going to be hungry. I think we're going to win low scoring games, and I think we're going to grind teams down. And if we get in the playoffs, we're going to be built for playoffs. So look.
All right, well, I got one follow up actually because I'm a Ranger fan. I'm in New York. I cover the team, and I've talked a lot about Kaapo Kakko, when he was with New York.
He's nasty.
Yeah, he's adjusted really well in Seattle. Like, what can you say about him? Like, as far as, he's a great guy off the ice too. Like, he's a really nice dude, like very well spoken. And it seems like he's thrived there. So what can you say about Kaapo Kakko?
First off, great dude. We've been discussing playing tennis, so it sounds like he's a good player.
The Euros are usually pretty good. That's Dennis. Yeah. That's what I would always do, hit with the Euros because they were good.
Yeah, good player. So
big sports fan too.
He is.
Yeah, he loves basketball. He was a big Knicks fan, at least while he was here.
Yeah, I mean, playing in the Big Apple, that's pretty sick. I mean, honestly, like you have those guys, like those big teams to like go cheer on. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, shout out Boston though. But he's sick. Like, I remember when he came to us, I was like, oh, like this guy has like elite skill. Like, he can play. He's got a good shot, sick hands, and he's so good at like using his frame to protect the puck. He instantly like made our top line better right away. So I'm anticipating, like, he looks good this year. I'm anticipating he's going to come in and keep getting better. And I'm excited to see what he's going to do this year because he's a heck of a player.
All right. Well, before Johnny asks you another stupid question about the New York Rangers, I'm going to just cut him off there, and I'm going to just tell you, listen, we appreciate your time. What's the name of your YouTube channel? Just one more time. Maybe you could give us the name of it just to plug it a little bit.
Yeah. So my YouTube channel is just my name, Joey Daccord. I think it's at JDac35 technically, but if you just search up Joey Daccord, you'll see it right there. You'll see how I train as an NHL goalie right up there.
I just subscribed.
Right, so make sure you
comment, subscribe. Let me know what else you want to see.
Go to that Joey Daccord YouTube page. Get involved with his YouTube page. Our audience we have a very, very loyal audience, and so hopefully we can send some people your way. I'm sure Johnny told you we needed you for 30 minutes tonight, which turned into an hour.
I didn't give him any time.
A lot of that is your fault.
Johnny gave me no time frame.
Nothing
at all.
Well, again, he's still learning. I'm trying to bring him along here. Like, he's a project. Let's just call him.
I think he did great.
Thanks,
he's
thanks,
a project. So
thanks,
he only brought the Rangers up one time. So good luck this year, man. We'll certainly be keeping an eye out for you. We probably don't talk about Seattle enough on our show, admittedly. Now we'll have a reason to talk about you guys a little bit more, and hopefully we can get you back on the show during the season this year because it'll be great to get your point of view, and we wish you the best. Hopefully we see you wearing that red, white, and blue here in a couple of months.
Sounds good. Thanks for having me, guys. Really
appreciate it. All right, man. Have a good one.
You're the man.
Good luck in camp. Starts probably soon here.
Tomorrow.
All right. Wow. Go get them.
Appreciate you.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
And I think it's important that we just mention we're filming this. We're recording this on September 16th. It's 9:20 in the evening. We started obviously like an hour ago. And as Johnny mentioned, a couple more taped ones, and then hopefully we'll be back live with you here shortly into October. But listen, I would say probably the most natural guest we've maybe ever had, like player.
I don't think I needed to talk.
It was again, like, just a guy with a personality and a point of view. How about that? You don't see that very often. So that was great. Good hearing his story a little bit. I'm sure other people are somewhat familiar with it, but yeah, like, we'll see what happens with him. He seems like he's ready to go. I think if Seattle's going to make the playoffs, it means he's going to have a big time career year, because I don't necessarily have the same level of belief in the Seattle Kraken that he does, but good for him. He's the goaltender. I would hope he does. It'll be interesting to see how Lane Lambert does with his second crack.
He's the head coach.
Yeah, and he'll probably have a little bit more freedom. I think working under Lou Lamoriello is obviously always a little bit different. So with that, Johnny, why don't we get to some of the reads that we have to get to and work our way out.
We just got Bet365. We have the bet of the night. I did want to talk about Cale Makar's comments if you wanted to hit on that first before we kind of do Bet365 and wrap it up.
If you must.
You don't want to talk anymore? You're done with me?
Well, I saw his comments.
I don't get how, like, every year at Player Media Tour, I feel like the NHL's top players, like this year was Kale, like everyone says, bring it back to 1 through 8 for the playoffs. Like he said, I mean, if you're, like some players said the wild card locks in the same matchups every year. Like he said, I mean, if you're Edmonton or LA, I'd say, yeah, like sometimes you get a good matchup and sometimes you're playing a top 6 team with another top 6 team. Like we did this past year. That's the way she goes. Like he wants to see it go back to 1 through 8. Like he understands that it makes the road harder the way it's set up right now, but it feels like every player every year is saying this and the NHL won't do it. It's just a little annoying and frustrating, I feel like, because everyone wants it. Like, have you heard anyone say they like the playoff format? I can't think of one person I've heard say that.
Well, remember something. They just put a new CBA together that they agreed upon, and they obviously didn't feel strongly enough to get it put in the new CBA, right? Like, remember here, the players and what'd you say?
It's just like, to me, it's such an obvious thing to fix. Like, it's just,
but if they're not fighting hard enough for it in these CBA negotiations, like how many guys are, like, how important truly is it? Right. So I don't disagree with Kale, but I just feel like we're spinning our wheels here. Like, how many times are we going to talk about it? We talk about it all the time. The players say it, like, so that's just where we're at with it,
Fair enough. One other thing I will say before Bet365, I was talking to J-Rock a little bit today, and he's putting together a morning Cuppa hockey fantasy league on ESPN. He doesn't have the information yet, but I told him I will help him share it for all of our listeners and people in the chat who want to get involved. He said he knows that we probably won't be in it, which is why we love him, because he's loyal and he knows that we don't really do fantasy hockey. But J-Rock is being the leader. He's the leader of our chat, I would say. I'd give him that right. And we'll keep an eye out for that. But without further ado, we'll get to Bet365. As everyone knows, whatever your bet is, it's never ordinary at Bet365. So download the app and get in on the game. You must be 19 or older. And we're going to say the Seattle Kraken to make the playoffs right now is plus 475. Colby, after talking to Joey Daccord, do you think it's worth sprinkling a little bit on those odds or no?
No.
That division is like, after the top 3 teams, I don't know. It feels like it can kind of go anywhere. Like they could squeak into a wild card, I would say. I mean, right now, just kind of looking at it, the Pacific, Vegas, LA, Edmonton, Calgary, Vancouver, Anaheim, Seattle, San Jose. Like after Vegas, Edmonton, and LA, I think that's a crapshoot. And even like, I don't know, man. Like they could even sneak into the top 3. That division to me, I think, is the most like lopsided of all in the NHL.
And I still haven't changed my mind.
Okay, fair enough. Wrap it up. Give us your final thoughts.
Final thoughts here. That was a great interview. Honestly, that was, I mean, him and Stepan, definitely 2 of the better guys that we've ever had come on here who could really just sit here and shoot the shit.
I love Derek Stepan.
Just a good personality. I mean, Stepper, he's retired now, so it's like a little bit different, a little easier to talk, but For a guy who's a current player, it's nice to see a guy come on and let their personality shine a little bit. So check out his YouTube page. Don't forget to like and subscribe and download to ours. NHL training camp opens tomorrow. So I'm sure Johnny's Twitter will be extra annoying for the next couple of weeks.
No, I'll actually be in Pittsburgh for the USHL Fall Classic. I leave tomorrow morning, so I'll be doing stuff with the USHL all weekend. I actually, believe it or not,
you're gonna miss the opening days of Rangers training? You're not gonna be there to sit in JT Miller's stall, like new captain?
No,
You're not gonna christen his stall?
I can't be there for the first few days of training camp, which is tough because obviously I want to be there, but have prior commitments to the USHL, so I'll be with Glenn all weekend. And there is a chance I was invited to the Armstrong family house for dinner. So I might have dinner with Colby, his wife, and their kids one night this weekend, which I'm sure will be
they're great. They're great people. The Armstrongs are, Colby's obviously a good dude. Melissa's like, she's so cool. Like I'm a big fan. I'm rooting for Cruz, man. Like I hope he's a stud and he becomes a hell of a hockey player. He's already a good hockey player, but totally. So you'll have to let me know how that goes. I hope hopefully they got some dinosaur shaped chicken nuggets for you or some little
I would love that.
Some kids menu items. So all right, listen, have a good trip to the USHL Fall Classic. You'll see some great hockey out there. Give Glenny my best. We'll have to get him on here at some point and catch up with him. Congrats again, buddy, on your 3-year deal.
Thank you.
I'm very excited for you and very proud of you and good things to come for you, pal. So it's always a testament when you put something on social media and you see all the people that support you. It's vast. It really is. So good for you. Enjoy that. Have a cold one tonight and celebrate a little bit. I'll see you next week. All right, pal?
Yeah.
All right. I hope everybody enjoys the rest of their week, and we shall see you soon.